Well, let's talk about how to find a therapist. I think there's a couple different paths, and I'll just go through like I think a clear path if you're using insurance,
Yeah.
but like phase two of this is also relevant if you don't have insurance. But I think the easiest way if you plan to use insurance is to literally like log into your insurance portal or call the insurance company, and there's a whole directory of like in-network
People.
therapists,
Yeah.
yeah, who are
Providers.
all like vetted, qualified, they're licensed, etc. And then from there you can either just like call and schedule or find their website and schedule. I like to then go to Psychology Today to actually like see a picture of them and like read their bio and actually find their website and like
Yeah.
get a feel for who this person is, because a lot of times through insurance portals you're just getting their name. There's no picture, like you don't get a sense of who the person actually is.
Yeah.
And so doing a little bit of research on Psychology Today, there's probably other websites out there. I just feel like Psychology Today is very easy to use. And yeah, then being able to actually reach out and schedule, like maybe if they offer a free consult, like a 15-minute phone call or something like that to see if it feels like a good fit, and making a decision from there. You could also skip the insurance part and just use psychologytoday.com, and they have all sorts of filters like what we talked about at the beginning of like, I want someone who specializes in trauma, or I want someone who specializes in working with children and teens, or
Yeah.
anxiety or bipolar disorder, or whatever it is that you're looking for. You can filter through all of that to kind of like curate what therapist you're looking for.
No,
So
totally.
it's fairly straightforward once you have the resources to like get you started.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly like with my own experience. It's like a lot of Googling, right? Like
Yeah.
it's a lot of like getting online, reading a lot because you want to qualify the person and make sure that they're a good fit for you. And that's exactly what I would recommend too, is like I like you kind of want to see it. I mean, I feel like you want, because you want to know what to
Yeah.
expect. You want to know who you're walking in to meet. And
Yeah.
so like being able to know about them and what they offer, their who they are, their vibe, their whole thing.
Yeah.
And then also like seeing helps.
Yes.
And also this just came to mind, like what gender you're more comfortable sitting with. Like,
Yeah.
some, like for me personally, like I've never seen a male therapist.
Mm-hmm.
I've only seen women, and uh I would be just more comfortable, like most comfortable with a woman. But if you're a guy seeking therapy, maybe you would be more comfortable with a man, or maybe you actually would be more comfortable with a woman. Like those kinds of things, you're going to find that when you're researching who they are, the vibe, all of that. But yeah, I don't remember I'm sure it was like Psychology Today was the website, but it's been so long since I've
Mm-hmm.
like gone and searched. Also, depending on like if you live in a city versus a small town, like
Yeah.
it might be more saturated, your Google search. So using like the Therapy Today website can help filter, like, down, refine it down.
Yes. No, for sure. It's a good way to, especially if you do have so many options, to just narrow it down to what you're actually looking for. Or if you live in a really rural spot, you can see the limited amount of therapists you have in your area and choose to widen your search. If you're okay with telehealth therapy, there's so many options
Yes,
available.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And one thing that's coming to mind too is like therapy is an investment for sure. Going through insurance, of course, helps with that. And so like
Mm-hmm.
that's a huge, thing to just mention for our listeners. If you're someone who is like thinking about therapy, or maybe you have a therapist, or maybe you're in the it's like something you haven't thought about, but this episode's making you think about it a little bit. Just like qualifying financially, like what that looks like for you and what is in your like scope of affordability, because some therapy is more expensive, some of it's more
Mm-hmm.
affordable. And if you don't have insurance, if you're uninsured and you're looking for that
Mm-hmm.
support, just knowing, like, making sure you're researching within that realm. Because
Yeah.
like I think anybody in the mental health profession or who values these things understands that like having access is really important. And also, you know, there are times where putting yourself in a more like financial strain in order to like have the help or receive the help is important. but also like you don't want to be like maybe necessarily like going into debt.
Yeah, and usually like the pricing should be pretty transparent on
Oh yeah,
whether you're using insurance or private pay.
absolutely.